Hello, this is the Phantom of the Opera. In regards to the Mandela effect, after I did my travel to California, Oakland, I came back home and I was still unable to find a producer to go to Arizona and interview the lady who had the Publishers Clearinghouse sweepstakes. I've pleaded to the public, does anybody know a producer? And no one is able to know a producer in her area to go interview her. So unfortunately, I cannot interview her because I cannot get to Arizona, and I can't get anybody to get to the place she's in Arizona, in Tempe. So I can't find a producer that would go film it, and do the whole production. And I was willing to pay their salary, whatever. But so I did the best thing. I spoke with her over the phone. I took down it's like 30, 40 pages of notes. So I'm going to break it down. Eventually, this is going to turn into a book. So I'm going to write two books. One on the murder of Michael Landon and Victor French. Two on the Mandela effect, the Ed McMahon Publishers Clearinghouse. Um, and in the book, she said if I can get a publisher and I can write a book, she'll come out in public because she'll feel safe then. She doesn't feel anybody would hurt her if she comes out in the book. She should feel safe. So I'm going to run down the bullet points. The number one, Mary from Tempe. In the late 80s, she said, Ed McMahon, this was summertime, she said June something. So she won the Publishers Clearinghouse. Now, let me look at my notes. Okay. So she said she won the Publishers Clearinghouse, basically, June, in late 80s, June. And this lady Mary she's an older lady. She's got some health problems. She's old now. But she's like a really skinny, short girl, or short old lady, like a grandmother type. The type that's just so nice. I would never lie about anything. Just the nicest type. She's married to a railroad engineer. He's really cool too. So I explained to her the Mandela effect. I explained to her that Ed McMahon never did this. She explained that he did do this. She explained 2007. Somebody came to her house and talked with her and her husband, and they said that you cannot tell anybody that you won the Publishers Clearinghouse, and they are erasing all the databases, and that they are under national security to not talk about this. That's what she said. So when I finally got a hold of her, I finally convinced her to talk about this because number one, she's having some health problems and she doesn't know she'll be alive in the next couple of years. And number two, she's so confused why nobody wants her to know, wants people to know that she won this Publishers Clearinghouse. So I'm going to give you the data points, and then if you have any questions, leave it in the comments section. Number one, basically, like I said, she won the Publishers Clearinghouse. And McMahon, well, the way it worked, she said that she got a phone call the night before she won. They told her that she won. They told her they wanted to do a photo op with Ed McMahon. So she said around 8:30 a.m. he showed up out of a white van. They came and they knocked. He had a cameraman. He had everything. This was filmed. The whole thing was filmed. And it was Ed McMahon. He gave her this big check. It was $1 million check. And she said she's lived off of it since because she was a waitress at Denny's, and she's basically lived off of it. It's unbelievable. So she's like, how and actually the whole time she was mostly asking me about the Mandela effect. Like, how is this possible? Because she knows he came there. So what the heck, right? So she met him. He came in. She even made him iced tea because she knew she had won. She made iced tea. They drank and ate these cookies. She remembered the cookies. It was Oreo cookies, and it was small talk. And then just as they were getting to leave, Ed McMahon gave her a hug, gave her a kiss, and said, "Hey, if I'm ever broke, I'm gonna come back and get some money." So she remembers the joke. So she's like, "What the heck? I talked to Ed McMahon. He came here. What's the deal?" So then he left, and then, like I said, she hadn't heard anything back. In 2007, and somebody came up to her and told her to stay away from the subject. And I think that's just so strange. Now, the person, all she remembers is that he worked for the Pentagon. That's all she remembers. He wouldn't give her the name or anything, but he said under national security you cannot talk about this. So she was scared for years until I finally found her, and I found her through I found her through a database that is not supposed to exist, but I have my ways. That's neither here nor there, but that's going to come out in the book because this is going to be this is a huge story. Something that never happened actually happened. Now, here's the other part. She filmed Ed McMahon filming her about wanting the check. And she has that, but she won't show it to me through Skype. She said, I'll only show it if you come there. That's why I was trying to get a producer to come there. So I asked her to look at the footage again and to see if that's been Mandela affected. She looked at it, and she calls me. She goes, no, it's still there. He walks up, starts knocking. She even filmed him through the peephole. Like, she looked at the peephole, she said in the film, and then she looked outside the window, and she started filming him. And then her husband grabbed the camera, and then they stopped filming when Ed McMahon came in, and then Ed McMahon left. She told him to turn the camera on, and he walked out. And it was gone forever. And so it happened. I don't know why they're covering this up. I don't know who's changing this. Well, actually, I do know who's changing this. That's going to be in another video, but this is about Mary. So the rest of the story is going to come out in a book. I'm going to go through Mary's biography, her childhood, how she won. But those are basically the bullet data points. If you have any other questions, and if you want to contribute to the book, hey, please leave me a comment. I'd love to put you in the book. I'd love to interview you. I'd love if you have any other information regarding this. But now I've proven to myself that this is real. And there's no doubt about it now. So, thank you again for listening. And thank you, Mary, for coming forward and speaking out when, I mean, there's dark forces out there that doesn't want you to speak out. So, this is the Phantom, out.